The bobbled exchange led to the turnover. Behringer never had it and then was unable to pick it up in time to get it to Childs. And it looked like Behringer made a dive for it, but it actually ended up on his back. And then James Burgess was able to pick it up.
You see Warren Sapp keep it alive here. Watch the ball. Watch Sapp bat it right there.
Sure did, because otherwise Childs was going to get it.
Yep.
Should make the point too. That's right. And everything that makes one team happy makes another team sad. But should make the point that Nebraska uses two centers a lot. They alternate them, Aaron Graham and Bill Humphrey, and two quarterbacks. So there is no real consistent exchange between any two players.
First play of the fourth quarter. 4 wide receivers set for the Canes. 2nd and 6 from their own 40. Costa's pass. Ferguson with a diving attempt. Did he get it? Apparently so. It'll be a catch short of the first down at the 42.
Costa again very slow to get up, and he could plant a little wheat in that helmet.
Pass complete to Ferguson.
He's about to plant a little corn if this lead stands up for them.
He got planted on that one.
Keneally with the hit of Costa, who just now getting the dirt out of his helmet. Well, he didn't even do that.
Trying.
Play clock to 8. Going deep down the sideline. Chris T. Jones battling with Baron Miles. And incomplete.
Costa's pass intended for Jones.
What's more exciting than that? When they take it man-to-man coverage, only 2 guys within 30 yards of the football. If Baron Miles doesn't get his head around there, that is another big play, because Chris T. Jones makes those catches. Brilliant play that time by Baron Miles.
That was Miami's first 3rd and short situation today. Costa not happy. And faced with 3rd and short, they threw deep.
There we go.
There it is again. Miles is chasing, and he kicks it out of bounds through the end zone. That'll be an illegal kick. Pruitt saw it sail 5 feet over his head, and then did his best Pele imitation.
Tom, this is a huge call now by the officials down on the goal line. If that ball went out on the 1-yard line, now Nebraska's in a position. If it goes out in the end zone, it's a safety.
Right.
I mean, this is a bit. If you're a Nebraska fan now, you want that ball on the 1-yard line. And the problems continue for these long snappers.
Taylor made that snap. It was not a good one. Jeffrey Taylor, as we said, the 3rd snapper they've used this season. Backup linebacker. So for the 8th time this season, a bad snap on a punt has cost them, and 5 of those previous 7, the opponents have scored.
I mean, that's not even close. Jeffrey Taylor just snapped that one out of sight.
Do you think some hearts were in throats in Pasadena?
And now the discussion continues about where to place the ball.
As Penn State watches this play, and this could be a very crucial point of the game.
I think the ball went out in the end zone. So did Baron Miles. Now he's signaling for a safety, but really what he would rather have is the ball on the 1-yard line. So he may be working against his own cause.
Pruitt kicks it. It goes through the end zone out of bounds. A safety is the correct call.
But I think, Tom, because of the penalty, it may well, you see it go into the end zone side of that pylon. Because of the penalty, they're going to get the ball back in the field of play. In other words, they can deny the net result of the kick and take it from the spot of the foul, and then march off the penalty from there.
Jeffrey Taylor, the man that snapped it. Pruitt, the man that kicked it. It looked like the World Cup instead of the National College Championship. And when it's all said and done, all sorted out, they'll spot the ball at the 4-yard line.
That's exactly what happened. Pruitt kicked the ball at the 7. The penalty is going from the spot of the foul, moving half the distance of the goal to the 4. And Pruitt can't believe it. They have not been able to get a snap. All the tremendous athletes they have at the University of Miami, and they can't find somebody to snap the football. Incredible.
So 1st and goal, Cornhuskers at the 4. Behringer still has it after the play action. For the end zone, dangerous. Was it intercepted? Yes! Earl Little. Mr. Conservative Tom Osborne, that's the criticism he's heard over the years, goes for a pass on 1st and goal. Behringer throws it up for grabs, and Little catches it in the corner of the end zone. Earl Little, the sophomore from North Miami.
Tom, that's one of those plays as a quarterback that you have to either make the throw immediately or throw the ball away. It looked like the play had a chance. Gilman was open momentarily, but then when Behringer made the decision to hang on to it, just absolutely blew it. What a break for Nebraska and a blown play by Brook Behringer.
On the touchback, Miami gets the ball at the 20. A 1-yard run by James Stewart. Jones and Peter, the tackle. Here's the interception again.
Gilman was open momentarily when the play first started. Then Behringer tried to make something out of nothing, and that is a unbelievable interception. Almost Dwight Clark-like in the back of the end zone.
And he knows
Behringer. Tough to live with.
Nebraska has turned the ball over 3 times tonight.
You just wonder about Tom Osborne, a guy that has been criticized for being too conservative. Does that come into play in that type of situation, wanting to prove that you're not?
Costa has to run. He won't get far. It'll be a loss on the play, a sack credited to Dwayne Harris. He's the man that had the sack for the safety earlier. It'll be 3rd and long coming up for the Canes. They're not out of this yet.
And Nebraska's defense has been there. Every time they have made a mistake on the offensive side, Nebraska's defense has made up for it. They've erased it. They've done it throughout the course of this season. They need to do it again.
And Pruitt may be called on to punt again. Plenty of time for Frank Costa. Almost intercepted. There's a flag down. Phil Ellis made a diving attempt at the pickoff.
Intended for Harris.
And guard Terrell Green is arguing his case as it will be holding against
Flag is down.
the Hurricanes.
It would be 4th down if they refuse the penalty.
Great job by Nebraska's defense. Came in an emotional play, a play that can really break your back defensively. You're sitting over there, you're hyped up, you're expecting a touchdown, possible 2-point conversion to tie the game. And yet they were able to piece their emotions back together and send Miami and Frank Costa 3 and out.
So Jeffrey Taylor again will try to snap it. The last one sailed over Pruitt's head.
Drum roll, please.
This one low. Pruitt got it and got it away. Moss from the 38. Ran into his own man. Fumbled the football. And got it back. 40-yard punt, a 6-yard return. Nebraska narrowly averting a 4th turnover. Timeout, 12:07 left in the national championship game.
The FedEx Orange Bowl is brought to you by FedEx. For documents, packages, and freight worldwide, our most important package is yours. By Microsoft, the leader in software. Where do you want to go today? By McDonald's. What you want is what you get at McDonald's today. And by Lincoln Mercury and the complete line of 1995 Lincoln and Mercury automobiles.
Shot of an Orange Bowl record crowd, 81,753 from the Goodyear blimp Stars and Stripes from Pompano Beach, Florida, captained by Brew Marshall. Our cameraman is Bob Rosedale. Brook Behringer, last possession, threw the costly interception in the end zone, and he's on the sideline as the Cornhuskers take over once again. The starter, Tommy Frazier, who was ineffective is back on the field.
This is turning into a movie.
Option. Sack. Through Frazier for a 6-yard loss.
And there's the villain if you're Nebraska. Cannot block him. Cannot block him. He lines up in the gap. He's too quick. They try to block down. They try to lead. The center forgot to come over and help. And that was, I mean, you've got to at least try to get a hand on him somehow. I don't think the Nebraska offense can afford to run any more option. This Miami defense just too quick.
11 and a half minutes left in Nebraska's national championship quest. Play action fake. Tommy Frazier whips it across the middle, complete, short of the first down. Diving catch made by Abdul Muhammad. If in doubt, go to Muhammad.
And Tom, don't forget what Tommy Frazier did at the end of the Orange Bowl last year when he drove the Cornhuskers and gave them a chance for that game-winning field goal. He is a guy capable of throwing the football, and he seems to do his best throwing right here in the Orange Bowl. That ball was even tipped. Abdul Muhammad has been brilliant, just brilliant.
3rd and 3. Option. Frazier keeps. Nowhere. Ray Lewis.
Too fast, Tom. They're too fast to run that play. An option just takes too long to develop, and Ray Lewis and James Burgess and Corwin Francis at the linebacker position, they're just too quick. I think you're going to see Brooke Behringer back in the game. Without the threat of the pass, the running game is not there. Behringer, despite making the mistake, he is the legitimate thrower. He's the guy that gives them their best opportunity.
Hurstad to punt. Low snap. He just got it away. German's going to let it hit. It takes a sideways Nebraska bounce and will be downed at the 3-yard line.
What a kick.
9:52 left. Nebraska came into the game with the best rushing attack in college football, averaging 340 yards a game, held to 112 tonight by Miami's top-ranked defense. However, they have gained a total of 203 yards, close to what Miami allows in a game.
Sometimes numbers lie and sometimes they don't. This is a Miami defense that boy, they just don't give up any points or yards. So difficult to play against this Hurricane D.
Costa and company backed up to their own 4. Stewart maybe lost a yard or 2. Great defensive play made by Doug Coleman, a backup linebacker.
I'll tell you what, Doug Coleman just shot the gap on this one and made a huge hit on Stewart. We talked about the speed of Miami, but really Nebraska has reshaped their defense. This is a defense that took their dime defense with 6 defensive backs and made it their base defense. They found that they could stop the run pretty well in there with those bigger defensive backs, and speed in college football. Miami's been beating Nebraska for years with it. Nebraska tried a little of their own.
Stewart across the 5 to about the 7. Coleman again makes the tackle with help from Ed Stewart.
Does Nebraska's defense have another play? Those guys have been forced out on the field and forced to make big plays, but when your punt team backs a team up like that inside the 5-yard line, imperative that you go 3 and out. There's so few options offensively, especially when you're already sitting on an 8-point lead. You don't want to do anything crazy.
3rd and 6. 3 wides to the bottom of your screen. Costa's pass to Chris T. Jones, incomplete. Broken up by Baron Miles, who hit Jones as the ball arrived, and Costa again pays the price.
Miles on the coverage for Nebraska.
Thought Jones had a chance for this one.
6. Miami 8.
Need to make that catch, especially on third down. Baron Miles around the play again in Nebraska's offense, and Tom Osborne gets one more shot, and Joe Paterno takes another deep breath.
Threw it in his own end zone to punt. This can be an adventure. Ina is snapping this one, and it's right on target. Jay Ina with a long snap. Moss got away from the initial rush, driven back on a tough hit at the 40-yard line. A 5-yard return after a 37-yard punt. Frazier, it looks like he's coming back in, trying to lead the Nebraska comeback.
Next Saturday at noon Eastern, the stakes rise in the AFC playoff race. Eric Metcalf and the Cleveland Browns take on their Central Division rivals, the AFC's top-seeded Pittsburgh Steelers. Then next Sunday at 3:30 Eastern, Dan Marino and the Miami Dolphins battle Natron Means and the San Diego Chargers. The AFC Divisional Playoffs next weekend on NBC.
High drama at the FedEx Orange Bowl. Nebraska has done nothing its last 5 possessions. The costly one, the interception in the end zone when they had first and goal at the 4.
First and 10.
And the Cornhuskers trailing by 8 need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie. And with 8:11 left, a tie could be as costly as a loss if Penn State wins tomorrow for the national championship voting. Lawrence Phillips breaking tackles to the 20 with a cutback to the 15-yard line. Gain of 25 before he's chased down by Davis and Francis.
That's one of the few times we've seen the Cornhuskers run the option and pitch the football. Tommy Frazier has been running it. That time Rohan Marley overran the play, tried to come back and make an arm tackle, could not. And now you're getting a little bit of a taste of what Tommy Frazier can do. The guy that started as a freshman for the Cornhuskers, Tom Osborne, said he does not feel pressure.
And Phillips up to 90 yards rushing. Schlesinger. Touchdown. Cornhuskers will go for 2. They trail 17-15. Full house backfield. Frazier will throw. It's good. 2-point conversion. Eric Alford made the catch. Game tied at 17.
And redemption for Tommy Frazier.
And a smile for Brooke Behringer.
And hope for Tom Osborne. They have been forgetting about Schlesinger throughout the game. They were playing the option. And then Tommy Frazier. He can't throw. He can't throw. It's tied.
And a spring suddenly back in the step of Coach Tom Osborne. The body English didn't work.
And we're sorry we can't give you Joe Paterno's reaction.
Well, 10 years ago in the 50th Orange Bowl Classic, Nebraska trailed Miami 31-30 after scoring a touchdown with 48 seconds left to play. Tom Osborne went for the win. 2-point conversion knocked away by Miami, and the Canes came away with their first national championship.
Oh boy, here we go.
In the long history of the Orange Bowl, there has never been a tie.
And you notice how young Tom Osborne looked in that initial shot. A few of those wrinkles created by those lost opportunities in the Orange Bowl.
And we repeat, a tie could cost Nebraska the title if Penn State wins tomorrow in the Rose Bowl. Erstad's kick reaches the end zone. Well, Dennis Erickson, the Miami coach, is a Tom Osborne fan. And if he weren't playing Coach Osborne in the Orange Bowl, he would probably be rooting for him.
Obviously, you're in there to win, but you're also in there to help players, and winning the national championship isn't always the answer. We've been fortunate to have that happen, and they just haven't been. But what he's done for college football, what he's done for his athletes at Nebraska says enough about what Tom Osborne and college football is all about.
Amen.
17-17. Miami's last 3 possessions have resulted in punts. Stewart tackled at the line of scrimmage. Maybe he fell forward for a yard. Dante Jones hit him first.
And there's Ed Stewart, who didn't want to be moved to linebacker. He was a strong safety, and he was upset when they put him up there. He said, guys, block me from all angles. I got the tight end, I got the tackle, I got the guard, I got the back, I got the wide receiver cracking. All he is one of the top 3 linebackers in the country now.
Approaching the 7-minute mark. Number 1, Nebraska. Number 3, Miami, tied at 17. Before a record Orange Bowl crowd. Fake it. Costa going downfield, deep down the sideline. Chris T. Jones and Miles battling, and it's incomplete. That has been an ongoing war all night down that sideline. Chris T. Jones and Baron Miles.
And what would be better for Baron Miles on his birthday than to win a national championship?
Miami 21.
Chris T. Jones with a play, with a chance. But Baron Miles, after a slow start to this ball game, has just shown tremendous heart here tonight. He's been out there one-on-one the entire ball game. He's biting and scratching. He's not that fast. He can't jump that high, but he keeps making plays.
And what about the Nebraska defense? Miami still does not have a first down this quarter. 3rd and 9. Just got it off. Costa deep, wide open, can't get there. Taz Johnson was all by himself, and Costa, with the rush bearing down, overshot him.
Tyrone Williams is going to get confused on the play number 8. There's nobody in that whole deep half of the field. A complete lone coverage. Maybe this is Tom Osborne's year. You catch a break like that, maybe you do have a chance.
So here's another punt for the 4th time in a row. The Miami drive is 3 and out. Makes a good Miami bounce. That was touched back at about the 42-yard line. That's where it'll be spotted, a 38-yard punt. Miles came close to a block here.
Baron Miles is just missing. Look at the quickness.
Oh. 6:28 left as the Huskers continue their drive.
Tom Osborne, a man of great faith. He says everyone has faith in something. Some have faith in money or prestige or winning games, and he says sure it hurts to lose, but winning and losing is not the most important thing. And some people think that I don't care because I have that attitude. He says I do care, but I just have my priorities in life.
He said I've often misunderstood because of that. His team has the ball in a tie game. First down at the 42. Phillips is in trouble. Still fighting for yardage and perhaps got back to the line of scrimmage.
The ball carrier for Nebraska.
Ray Lewis, Kenny Holmes, many others were all over Lawrence Phillips.
Tom, you just have to appreciate the effort of these players out here tonight. I mean, these are just two great football teams, and you saw at that time Lawrence Phillips giving it everything he had. He was stopped in the backfield. He fought his way back to the line of scrimmage. I mean, it is now just a time to suck it up and play for 6 minutes and try and win a national championship.
Frazier. Catch made. Good catch by Reggie Ball, who went downstairs and caught it right off the grass. His first reception of the night.
Reggie Ball, another one of those walk-ons. People want to come to Nebraska. They want to play for Tom Osborne. And boy, would they love to win a national championship for that man tonight.
5:15 left. 17-17. Huskers facing a 3rd and 3.
And I don't think this is 4-down territory. Not yet.
Option. Frazier keeps. Cuts up. He's got the first down. He's got more than that. He's spun down at the 28-yard line. C.J. Richardson caught Frazier from behind, but it went for 25 yards.
There's the Tommy Frazier we saw at the beginning of the season. Running the option. The last time he pitched it, this time he fakes it. Watch the running ability. You have to be happy for the young man. He's fighting his way back from that blood clot. Just a horrible season for him. He wanted to come back, get a medical red shirt. They wouldn't let him. This is it. This is his opportunity.
And he's from Bradenton, Florida. How sweet would that be? Barrier managing a smile. He did a good job when he was in there for the most part. Phillips spinning to the 20-yard line. That's a pretty good gain. That's about 6 or 7 yards, covered by C.J. Richardson, and the big hogs up front starting to wear down the defense of Miami.
And Miami does not substitute much on that defensive line.
Gain of 7.
Look at Schlesinger come in there. He's made some big runs and some huge blocks.
Let's go to John Dockery.
You know, Chris, you hit the nail on the head. I watched the Miami defensive line in the before they got back on the field. They've been on the field the whole 4th quarter. They were exhausted because of lack of substitution. Of course, Pat Riley, their great defensive tackle, is out of this game, and they haven't been able to substitute. They're exhausted.
Frazier hands to Phillips. Can't get a block. Ridden down at the 20, no gain. Ray Lewis made the play once again.
Lewis on the tackle.
And Tom, they're right at the range now where they have to make a decision about their field goal kicker. Tom Sealer is the short kicker. He is going to kick anything 40 yards or shorter. So right now, Tom Sealer is the man. He gets the ball up very quickly. Did not have a particularly good pregame warm-up. I watched him kick. He was missing a lot of kicks in the pregame.
Erstad is the long field goal kicker. But it's 3rd and 3, and Osborne would like to convert here and not have to worry about a kick. And Frazier takes a timeout. That's the first by Nebraska in this second half. This game has been as advertised. It began with a 44-yard, seasons-long for Pruitt that put Miami up 3-0. Then it was 10-0 Miami as Costa hit Trent Jones with a 35-yard TD pass, capping a 97-yard drive. Second quarter, first Nebraska score engineered by Brooke Behringer, who hit Mark Gilman with a 19-yard TD pass. In the third quarter, Costa 44 yards to Jonathan Harris to put the Canes back up by 10. Then Dwayne Harris sacking Costa in the end zone for a safety to make it 17-9. And then Corey Schlesinger, the 15-yard ramble, and the 2-point conversion tied it at 17.
And Tom, don't forget, because of some of the earlier mistakes by that Miami offense, Miami only has 1 timeout left. So when you look at this Miami defense, they have to make a play now. Wow, look at that.
The Nebraska defense has done the job here in the fourth quarter, holding the quick strike Miami offense to minus yardage.
And Nebraska really has been their worst enemy in this ball game. Their 2 longest drives of 49 and 64 yards both ended in turnovers, and then, of course, the interception by Behringer when they got the ball on the 4-yard line. Here they are with yet another opportunity.
Third and 3. Option. Frazier cuts up. First down, Nebraska. Rohan Marley covered him at the 14, but Osborne still has what could be a national championship drive percolating.
And how about Tom Osborne? He has shown the courage to not only start Tommy Frazier, but then to bring in Behringer, give his team a lift, and then when it seemed very natural to let Behringer continue to play, made another gutsy call, brought Frazier back in, and now he has this Cornhusker offense on the move.
Less than 3 minutes remaining. Nebraska already in field goal range. See ya. Schlesinger has another touchdown. Schlesinger broke free and took it in for the score.
Smile, Tom.
For the extra point. He got it. The Nebraska team has owned the fourth quarter. Corey Schlesinger has scored twice in this quarter, and Erickson's offense has been in reverse. Fatigue perhaps playing a part here on the Miami defense as Schlesinger rambles in for his second touchdown in this period.
The quick hitter right up the middle. Frazier's such a threat. They make it a trap block on it. Good blocking down the field by Muhammad. And Schlesinger is the unsung hero of this game. Not only with his blocking, but every time they've needed a big first down, when they needed a big play, Schlesinger has come up with it, and he was not going to be held out of that end zone.
The senior from Duncan, Nebraska, has given the Huskers their first lead of the game. And what about the blocking for Nebraska? They had people flat on their backs, the big offensive line, and even the wide receivers getting in on the act that time. And the pounding by the big guys up front taking its toll on Miami in this fourth quarter.
And you go all the way back to what we talked about at the beginning of the game. Zach Wiegert, the Outland Trophy winner, made a simple statement. He said, we want to go one-on-one, man-to-man against these guys for 4 quarters and just find out who really is the better man.
2 minutes and 46 seconds separate Tom Osborne from his first national championship. And don't kid yourself for a moment. These Nebraska players would love to be the class that gives it to him.
But this Miami offense still has something to say. We've seen the big plays all night, and that's why Tom Osborne hasn't broken into a smile yet.
Erstad's kick taken a yard deep. Shipman gets across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Greg Lindstrom with the tackle for the Nebraska special teams. And Costa has gotten nothing done this quarter against the Nebraska defense.
One of the things that happened, Tom, was that Nebraska got a little more conservative defensively. They quit playing so much man-free coverage in which put all that pressure on the cornerbacks. And don't forget about the blown play, the blown coverage, where Miami had a chance to go about 65 yards. Frank Costa missed the pass.
2:42 left. Canes 4 wide. Diving catch made. Marcus Wimberly. Clock continues to run. Short of the first down. It was a gain of only 4 or 5 yards.
One timeout remains for Miami. You are willing to give up those short passes, but you don't want to get into a prevent mode. This Nebraska defense has been pounding on this Miami offense. Don't play it any differently.
Costa got away and then is taken down. Terry Keneally with a sack.
Keneally on the tackle.
Timeout taken with 2 minutes left. Tom Osborne's Cornhuskers leading 24-17. And over the years, the Orange Bowl has not been kind to that man.
Timeout.
Harry Tuttle, touchdown Clemson. And Clemson wins the national championship of college football.
Turner Gill rolling to his right for Nebraska. Throws, knocked down. Miami Hurricanes have knocked the ball down. They will win and hang on for the national championship.
Touchdown, Kevin Williams. Picked up and taken in. Touchdown, Florida State. So now 45 yards to get Cinderella, Nebraska, the national championship. And he hooked it left. Florida State wins.
The chiseled features of Tom Osborne now just 2 minutes away from that elusive national title.
And Tom, throughout all those losses, the man has not changed one iota.
3rd and 13. Miami 15.
Miami led 17-7 after taking the kickoff in the third quarter and driving it all the way down the field. Since that time, the Huskers have controlled it. Costa buried. Jones and Keneally and Costa slow getting up. He has taken a beating tonight.
Harris and Keneally on the sack.
Wayne Harris, Terry Keneally, Dante Jones. We talked about the Miami defense getting tired. Now this Miami offense is getting overwhelmed. And it comes down to one last play for Tom Osborne. One play for a national championship.
4th and 19 from the Miami 9.
Costa deep downfield, up for grabs, intercepted. Kareem Moss.
Counter's pass is intercepted. Moss intercepted the pass.
The sentimental favorite. This year it's Tom Osborne, and this should do it. Batted in the air by Moss, who cradles it. And now, with Miami out of timeouts, the Cornhuskers, who held Miami this quarter with no first downs, will go on to win. It's just a matter of time now. And Tom Osborne, who so much wanted to please his dad that he took up athletics, finally has his national championship, and somewhere his dad has to be smiling. I see a lot of Tom Osborne in the words of Longfellow, who wrote, "Let us then be up and doing with a heart for any fate, still achieving, still pursuing, learn to labor and to wait." For 22 years he labored and waited, and now the moment is his. Let's go to John Dockery with the national champion coach, Tom Osborne.
You finally got it after a long time. Coach, you finally got it after a long time coming. What does it mean to you?
Well, it means a lot. I'm really proud of the players. Played a great game, a lot of heart.
You've come close. Coach, you've come close many times. Is it all more sweeter now?
Well, it's enjoyable. Let's put it that way.
Did you somehow feel that this was your year coming into the game?
I thought in the fourth quarter we'd be the best team, and we were. That's great.
What was the difference today?
Well, I think just we were probably in good condition, maybe a little stronger physically in the fourth quarter. Miami has a great team. I got to get in.
Congratulations, Coach. A terrific victory.
Thank you.
Tommy, back to you.
Okay, John. Tom Osborne, vintage Tom Osborne, gracious in victory as he always has been in defeat. Nebraska earns a national championship with a tough win over Miami in the Orange Bowl. Final score 24-17. Bob Costas.
All right, Tom and Chris and John Dockery. And a thought here about Joe Paterno and what must be going through his mind as he watches tonight's game unfold in Pasadena. He has won national titles, of course, before with the Nittany Lions, but 3 times before he has gone through a season undefeated and yet uncrowned as national champion. And in the absence of a playoff system, it will happen again. Even if they beat Oregon as expected tomorrow in the Rose Bowl, they'll wind up number 2 because it has finally happened for Nebraska. In another marvelous and memorable contest at the Orange Bowl, they've finally done it. 3 times now, Nebraska coach Tom Osborne has brought an unbeaten, untied, number 1 ranked team to this game. Again, his reputation for losing here ringing in his ears. Now he's trying to get the water out of his ears. He has borne all of it through the years with a dignified, self-effacing manner, and now his great coaching resume is complete. While those of us in network television aren't supposed to root, I think we can allow ourselves a chance to smile and some words of appreciation for a man who has studiously avoided self-aggrandizement in an age all too devoted to style over substance. As we leave you now, try to imagine what it must be like right now in Nebraska, where there are no major professional sports teams and no other major university within its borders. And in Lincoln now, and all across the Nebraska plains, this first national title in a generation is a wonderful way to start this new year and a wonderful and crowning moment in the career of Tom Osborne. Nebraska national champs 24-17. Now stay tuned for your local news, except on the West Coast, where it will be seen at its regular time. A reminder, join us tomorrow on NBC Sports for more bowl action. It starts at 1 o'clock Eastern with the Mobile Cotton Bowl, USC and Texas Tech. Then at 4:30 Eastern, the IBM OS2 Fiesta Bowl with the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame against Colorado and Heisman Trophy winner Rashaan Salam. That's all tomorrow here on NBC Sports. Again, for Tom Hammond, Chris Collinsworth, John Dockery, and all the men and women who put in their efforts tonight at the Orange Bowl in Miami. The Nebraska Cornhuskers are the national champs. And for all of us at NBC Sports, so long from the Orange Bowl.